All right, let's talk about this one here. Friend requesting the ex. So I'm gonna read one of the posts we had on the community page. How many people saw that? I'm gonna read it to you right now. Let's see. Let me close this. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. Let's get the weight up over there. Help me get that weight up over there. Thank you. I appreciate you already. Let's see. There's a post I posted on the community page here. Oh, I didn't even realize this was here. Oh, this was here too. Oh, interesting. Okay, let's see. All right, I got the post right now. All right. Let's see. Okay. So I said, advice, please. I posted this. I said, advice, please. This was yesterday. Sunday? Is that Sunday? Yeah. Yesterday was Sunday, yeah. Happy Sunday, Prestige family, I meant to say. Happy Sunday, Prestige family. Check the story out and advice. My husband, 30 male, and I, 30 female, have been married 5 years together. 6. They've been together for 6. We have a really good relationship, and I have never had a reason to not trust my husband. Recently, my husband sent his ex a friend request on Instagram. I know this shouldn't be a big deal, but it hurt me so much. For context, he was in a 10-year serious relationship with her before he met me. Ouch. Up until a few years ago, he was not in any type of connection with her. She sent him a Facebook request at that time. Wait. Recently, okay, the recent one is a friend request on Instagram. But a few years ago, she sent him a Facebook request at that time. This also upset me, and I told him how uncomfortable it made me. I didn't tell him to unfriend her because I didn't want to be controlling, although I wish he would have. Which I think this is why this recent Instagram thing is upsetting me even more. I've always thought what we have is special, and the fact he wants to have any connection with her whatsoever really bothers me. All right? So let me come to the chat. Advice this auntie. What do you guys think? Advise this auntie? Real quickly. Friend requests. They were in a relationship for 10 years before her. The ex had asked for a friend request on Facebook in the past. That situation upset her. She didn't say anything about it. After all, it wasn't the one doing the friend request. But recently, he asked for friend request through Instagram. Is that a thing? Friend request on Instagram? Like follow? Yeah, you could do follow request. That's true. Right? So if this were you and this is your partner, what would you do? What would you do? Let me see here. I might break it down into like a poll in a second. If they've deprived him and it's been longer than 6 months and the wife is not pregnant, then I'll be scratching head and asking questions. Okay, that's from the last segment. Okay. You said, do they have sufficient boundaries in place despite reconnecting on Facebook and Instagram? What to you, what would be sufficient boundaries? What is that? Right. Does that mean, hey, you don't request your ex, especially if they're 10 years, this is something you verbally say at some point? Or this is, how does that work exactly? Right. Friend request of exes that have had significant space in your life. 10 years is not your mate. They were together for 10 years. That person has a place in his heart. I know that sounds evil. That sounds evil, right? What do y'all think? What y'all think? What y'all looking for? Do you guys think that what can she do? First of all, do you think he's wrong? If you think he's wrong, put a 1 in the chat. If you think it's harmless, like what's the big deal? Put a 2 in the chat. Let's start with that first. Is it wrong? Is it right? If it's wrong, put a 1. If you think it's harmless, meaning it's not a matter of right and wrong, like what's the big deal? Put a 2 in the chat. Let's take that from there. Yep. Let me go into some of the comments that some people already left here. Yeah, let's go into some of the comments. Let's see. Yeah, somebody left a comment earlier. Say, let me come to your chat first. Let me not do cheat. Not to come out and we're talking about wrong. One, tell him to unfollow her. Tell him to just unfollow her. Controlling behavior. If this is a woman now, if this is a man saying that a woman should unfollow somebody, you call it controlling behavior, Abby? No, be so. Wouldn't you call that controlling behavior? Ladies, will you not call that controlling behavior? I'm asking. Will you not call that controlling behavior?
Everything I do, I will.
Two, figure out what is lacking at home and start working on your marriage. That's a good point, because listen, I don't know, is that just harmless, or there's a void somewhere? Not necessarily your fault, just why does he have time for that, right? But it's just one click away. Request, hold face. I haven't seen her. They were dating for 10 years. Okay? Keep that at the back of your mind. Anybody know what the Okafor law is? Okafor's law. What's Okafor's law? Put that in the chat. 3, respect yourself. If this continues, you may have to walk. Low bad time. Walking. Are you playing? What type of play is this?
Are you playing? What type of playing is this? This is playing. Why
are we talking about walking? Jesus Christ. It's too early. What?
What?
Let the poor man. It's just Instagram. Oh my God.
Let's be poor. Breathe.
It's just Instagram.
Oh, beauty.
It's just oh girl. Oluyomi says if she needs to let her husband know how she honestly feels about it. I really like this one. I like this one. There's some things, me, I'm not an advocate of just talking, everything is talking. But there's some things, right, that you should just express it, okay? Make it clear, concise, and make it known, right? Like, and I feel, use I feel. Talk about how you feel. Own it, right? As opposed to you if you do that, just letting you know. One says he's wrong. Oluyomi says he's wrong. Not to say he's wrong in all caps. Very harmful in caps for a river. I see you're yelling at me. It's okay. You're my G. I'll let you yell at me. Now from clap dance they begin start one. now from clap dance they begin start. Okay. So from just follow request. Follow request is harmful. A man cannot breathe in peace on Instagram. Can you imagine? Has the husband reassured his wife about nothing happening romantically? I don't think she's asked. I don't think she asked him at all. Let me see real quickly. Which I think this is why this recent is upsetting me more. I've always thought, I don't think she's asked him at all. I think she's just, that's the question. Now let's rewind. Let's step it backward. How does she know all of this? That's the question. How does she know all of this? Let's step it back. Gracious Greatness say, a little harmless, follow an old friend, hold Fling, not a big deal. We might be in town. No, not in town. We will never be in town together. But, right? But, a little, it's harmless. What's the big deal, right? It's not really a big deal. Like, it's harmless. Let the poor man breathe. Joe.
Let be poor. Breathe.
Not to say I have exes still on my social media that I did not delete or block, and don't say shit to them. Wait, you're still following each other? Not to. You're still following. You don't say ish. What? What are you talking about? But you're still following each other? Not to. Right? So what if we pretend that we've been following each other? I didn't follow yesterday. Remember yesterday when we were tracing if they changed Tinubu's name? Yesterday, remember that? Like, should we go and check? When did you start following each other? I'm asking you, when you see exes,
Run.
all right. Now from clap dance they start. I beg. What is clap dance? I'm missing something. What is clap dance? Me, I'm not there. I don't know what you guys are talking about. What's clap dance? It's not. Unfollow her, Joe. So just unfollow her. So you just tell her like, why are you following your ex? Abby, babe, when you follow your ex, it makes me feel. Exactly how would you say that to him? Because clearly she did not say. She followed him some few years back. She felt upset a little bit. She felt she felt some type of way about that. And this time he's the one following, right? Gracious greatness. Me, I'm asking, what is a clap dance? Because he's a cheater in the making. Ha! Oh my God. We're not going to wait for him to actually cheat. We're just going to say he's cheating. He's been there before. 10 years. He was dating her for 10 years. If you wanted to be with that person, we'll be with that person now. Right, this is how it starts. I get that part. I thought a clap dance is something. Ladies, I've got the greatest respect for you both. However, remember to keep the same energy when you're both saying unfollow Joe and then saying it's not controlling behavior. That's what I'm saying. Like, is this, I feel it's not controlling behavior because you're owning it and you're just saying how you feel, right? But when you if your anger is like, just unfollow, like, but you're cheating, like, well, when men do that same thing, can you keep that same energy, right? Because that's going to be easily labeled controlling behavior. There's no doubt in my mind. In fact, we might even go to the extent of narcissism right now. MOP, don't go there. It doesn't matter how she found out. We already know she's been snooping, but that's not the point. No. Let's go there. How did she know? How did she know these things? How did she know how do you know? The point is unfollow her, Jerry. Oshisko. It's not clap dance. Well, I thought I saw clap dance. We're saying that clapping is the beginning of dancing. Okay, all right, I get it. All right, so clapping is the beginning of dancing. Okay, that's true, right? That's true. Okay, so Okafor's law. I thought somebody, once Debe, always Debe. Are you ladies actually afraid of this? Are you scared of once Debe, always Debe? Is that always true? Some things you never go back to again. Why don't you just trust yourself that he doesn't want any of that. He's just a follow. He's just being nice. He's just being nice to our ex from the past. No big deal, right? Double standard. Yes. The double standard is real. Yeah. If they were already following each other, that is cool. But how do we know when they started following each other? Okay? How did she just know that they started following each other just now? That's how we're going to get to the bottom of this. Men will not allow, Oluyemi says, men will not allow if it's the other way around. Men allow a lot of stuff. They do. And sometimes I want to smack them for that, actually. They do allow a lot of stuff. No, once I'm done with you, I'm done. Exactly, D-Love. So why can't we just trust ourselves, right? Once you're done, like, there's no once there, always there. There are some people that are like that. Why don't you trust that your spouse is not that person? And just trust and stop snooping through the phone. Because how did she find out that somebody followed somebody a few years ago and now he's followed? How did she find out? Is she actually looking at the follows? How many followers are there? How many do you look at before you start to say, wait, you follow this person? All right. Anyway. Human beings are weak. The Bible says, make we flee from all temptations. I agree with that. Okay? I always agree with that. I don't have any choice than to agree with that because temptations are real. Let me tell you something. My husband can tell stories about his ex, but the moment I start his mood changes. So I draw the line. I don't want to hear yours. And no, I don't want to hear about your ex either. Why should we be talking about ex? And I promise you, I'm not going to talk about my ex, okay? But why are we talking about your ex? That's weird, of course. That's weird. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't bring your ex's story to your present situation. That's weird. Absolutely weird. So let me see here. On the comment here, somebody said, let me see. I think there's a comment. Somebody said, that is one dangerous move. Bon Chance said that. Bon Chance, are you here? Say one if you're here. I thought I saw your comment earlier. That is one dangerous move. People shouldn't do things for old time's sake. All right. Let's see. Ron Deep says, it's not a healthy move on his part. Shout out to Ron Deep. Ron Deep has left some comments, man. Ron Deep, I would like to have you on the live show so we can come and push back some more. I think some of his comments were a little bit on the edge for me. It's not a healthy move on his part. Once you start down the path with someone new, all other paths become obsolete. One man can't walk two paths at the same time. Choose. Yeah, that's a good point. Listen. How do I feel about this? Okay, so I would like to address these issues from the standpoint. I always like to address the person who is complaining. What I mean by that is not necessarily complaining, but asking a question. Whoever's making the complaint, right, is what I like to address. And I think we already did that here. If something makes you feel a certain type of way, and you should express it. I feel like, okay. Now, the other thing I want you to be prepared for is your expectations around the response you might get. The goal is to express yourself. The goal is not to get the right type of response immediately, right? The goal is to just sow that seed and let it be known that you feel some type of way about something. And that's what some people might even call drawing the lines or, setting boundaries, right? You should let that be known. But use I feel like, right? And try not to enter argument with that, because it's very easy to enter argument, because it will be like, no, I didn't mean it. Why are you so no? I'm just letting you know how I feel. It makes me feel some type of way. I feel better when I don't see stuff like that. I feel safer. I feel more secure. Just express that, right? And don't engage in any kind of argument. In terms of if it's wrong or right, listen, he hasn't done anything wrong. Right? But this is an example of you don't have to do something wrong before you create the wrong result. Keep in mind that she's been storing resentment for a couple of years now. If you do enough of that, that marriage will end up in the, where should we end this marriage? If you do enough of that. Somebody tell me in the chat, where should we end this marriage? Choose one. Anyone that we've used here before. McDonald's, which one do you want? This marriage, if you do enough of it, even though you haven't done quote unquote anything wrong, right? Let's just end this in.
You will end up in McDonald's.
But no, both. It will end up in Poto. That's a fact. It has nothing to do with if you were right or wrong. If your partner comes to you and they say they feel some type of way, you're lucky they came to you. Right? Because they could store it in there for years. They could store that there as resentment for years and build on top of it and then shock you one day. And then you run around town talking about you never seen it coming. They file for divorce for no good reasons. Really? That's what you think?
He shock you.
Yeah, just say you don't know the reason. That's a safer way to move, and that's best for you because then you can keep an open mind, ask some more questions, as opposed to getting stuck and crying. So the Bible did say flee. If it looks like it, don't play with fire. Why do you want to play with fire? If you want to play with fire, but just know that there are consequences that you might not be prepared for.